Hi everyone, I hope you had a great week and you're ready to move forward in our course. Before I discuss the work for week 10, I have a few announcements. The second grace period in our course has ended and the assignments folders for weeks 4 through 7 are now closed. Even though the folder for week 8 is open, only the Turnitin link for Literary Analysis number 1 is available. We'll talk more about this in my next announcement. Grades for the Literary Analysis number 1 have been posted. As a whole class, we did well, averaging a B. So pat yourself on the back. For most of you, this was the first time you wrote a literary analysis and you did a fine job. If you haven't already done so, please check your grade and review the attached rubric in the Grade Center. Also, I encourage you to read my in-text comments, especially if you decide to revise your essay for a higher grade, which I'll discuss in more detail a little later. To see my in-text comments, go to the Turnitin link for the essay in the Week 8 folder. So we go to Assignments, we go to the Week 8 folder, we click on the Turnitin link, and when you click on the link, you'll see your essay. So then just click on your essay, and then you'll find my comments. The Turnitin link will remain open for you to view my in-text comments until the end of the day on Tuesday, April 4th. If you are unsatisfied with your grade, you may revise your essay if you received a grade in the C range or lower. Before you revise your essay, email me and we will discuss the next steps in the revision process. If you received a grade in the B range, you may boost your grade by completing the extra credit options available in the upcoming weeks. Also keep in mind that if you've been completing the extra credit assignments during the previous weeks, these will be used to boost your final grade in the course. If you have not yet submitted your essay, you will receive a third and final email reminder from me. It's worth repeating here that you have until the end of the day on Friday, March 31st to submit your essay. Please keep in mind that your essay will be subject to a late penalty deduction of 10 points. Lastly, if you have not already done so, please purchase Carol Capek's play RUR. We will be starting the play next week. So now let's take a look at the work for this week. This week marks the beginning of the last module of our course, Modernism. I can't believe that we're already here. I feel like we just started the semester and we were reviewing the syllabus. To begin your exploration of this literary movement, you will submit Quiz 8 by the end of the day on March 29th. Quiz 8 asks you to watch 3 videos, Modernism, Setting, and Allegory, and respond to 10 questions. Next, you'll submit activity number 9, Who's Telling the Story? This activity focuses on the very important literary device, point of view. Point of view is the most important literary device. Without point of view, there can be no story. So for this activity, you will complete 3 parts. Part 1 asks you to watch 2 videos, point of view part 1 and point of view part 2, and then you'll respond to the 5 following questions. Part 2 asks you to read one of the following stories from this list, and then write down the point of view of the story. And you can read Virginia Woolf's The Mark on the Wall, Ernest Hemingway's Indian Camp, Catherine Mansfield's The Garden Party, or Franz Kafka's A Hunger Artist. Part 3 asks you to see the story from a different point of view by following these steps. Step 1, choose one character from the story of your choice that you read for part 2. Make sure this character is not the main character or the focus of the story. Second step, choose a key scene. A scene is one moment from the story. Third step, retell this key scene from the point of view of your character of choice. Your retelling of the scene should be at least 5 sentences long, 1 paragraph. Be sure to use first-person point of view, writing in the choice of your character. And then the 4th step, in 3 to 5 sentences, write about how changing the point of view affected your understanding of the story. And I give you just an example of how you can do steps 1 through 3 in this little example here. So this activity is due by the end of the day on March 29th. Next, you'll participate in discussion forum number 7. So before participating in the forum, you'll watch the video, a very brief history of the short story, and then you'll follow these guidelines. 1, read one story from this reading list, but be sure to choose a story that you did not read for activity number 9, who's telling the story. So for example, if you read Virginia Woolf's The Mark on the Wall for activity number 9, then you can choose from either Hemingway's, Mansfield's, or Kafka's story for the discussion forum number 7. So for this week, week 10, you'll be reading 2 short stories in all. Next, in your first paragraph, write about your reaction to the story. What surprised, confused, shocked, disturbed you? What grabbed you? Which story do you prefer? The story you read for activity number 9, or the story you read for this forum, and why? And in what ways do the stories that you've read for activity number 9 and this forum live up to your expectations of what a short story should be about? In what way may the stories challenge your expectations? Then in your second paragraph, compare the stories that you read for activity 9 and for this forum. For this forum, compare only the writer's use of one of these literary devices: point of view, setting, or allegory. For instance, if you read Hemingway and Mansfield's stories, you may notice that the setting stands out to you in both stories. So you may write about the importance of setting and what the setting in both stories may represent. Or if you read Kafka and Woolf's stories, you may notice the strong narrators. So you may write about the kinds of narrators they use: first, second, or third person point of view, and also the reliability of the narrators. And when replying to your peer, you can note the similarities and differences in your responses and or what you've learned from your peer. So your main post is due by the end of the day on March 30th, and your reply is due by the end of the day on March 31st. So now that we've reached a little bit past the middle of the semester, it's a good time to review your goals from the beginning of the course. Review your goals by the end of the day on March 31st. Then, of course, we have 2 extra credit options. You may complete both options, or you can choose one of them, and both are due by the end of the day on March 31st. Well, that's it. If you have any questions or concerns, do not hesitate to contact me, especially if you would like to revise your essay for a higher grade. You may also stop by during my virtual office hour on Thursday from 12 to 1 p.m. Bye for now, everyone. Have a great week.